Hi. Well, welcome back, guys. Today, I guess the world has been shaken by storm over the assassination of our president, Haiti's president, Jovenel Moise, which is what we're going to be talking about today. So, of course, I'm here with Lady D, Lady Danny.
Hi,
Bree.
everyone.
And of course, I'm Sabine, but I go by Daz. Welcome to another podcast. We usually do, I don't know, our intro with a quick fact about us or a fun fact about us. But I think we'll skip it today. Right? We'll skip it today only because I feel like the tone of today's podcast is a little different given the mourning state of Haiti right now and us mourning with all Haitians all over, like in the diaspora.
Yes.
So today we're basically going to, I don't know, reflect
on what's been on. Take a breather first.
Yeah, okay. It's like it's a dream.
Yeah, like everyone has been saying the same thing. It feels like a movie. Like we're stuck in the movie and we're just watching this movie, and as the movie's been playing for 2 days. And for some reason, it's like we don't know who the antagonist is, who the protagonist is. We don't know.
Right.
Right now, it's just like it looks like a bad movie, and I don't like this movie. I want my ticket. I want my money back.
It's so funny. I just watched No Remorse with Michael B. Jordan. I don't know if you've seen that one.
Oh, I want to see it. I'm still going to see it this weekend. Like, I'm going to log on to my Amazon and watch it, but I haven't seen it yet. So definitely planning to.
Yeah, it's like, because he was a Naval SEAL and they sent, I guess, mercenaries to go kill him. Except his wife was pregnant. And that night, his wife was like, I don't want you to sleep by me. I need the bed all to myself. You know, pregnant ladies talk. And she, I guess, by default, saved him because he wasn't in the room because they came to slay him in his bedroom. But he was stuck sleeping in the couch and he was able to make a quick move because he's a trained professional. He's a trained professional. So he was able to hear, activities going on in the house. And that's how he was able to defend himself, but he was too late. His wife and baby wind up dying. So I felt like this sounds like a scene from there, how the professional troops went to his house to get him. And, they wound up getting him and his wife. And it's just like, that's not a movie. That happened for real. That happened for real. So
what time was it when you received the news? Like, what time was it?
Oh my God, I wanted to ask you that question too. As a matter of fact, I got the call at 6 a.m, 6 something in the morning. I got the call. As soon as I got a call, it was from somebody that I don't usually hear from that often. So they were like, what did you hear the news? My heart just dropped because automatically when Haitian calls me like that, it's somebody who died. But I was thinking like outside like that. I'm thinking it's a family member, or somebody that I've dealt with personally that passed. And then she said, you assassinated Jovenel? I was like, what? I automatically wake up. You know how you pick up the phone like, hello? As soon as I said, I was like, what? I sat straight up. Like, are you kidding me? They made it happen. You know how you have that feeling like they were working towards that, but you like just shook like it really happened? How? And she was like, yeah, la Kylie, oui. You want to get la Kylie, you tire. Parce qu'elle a not toute nouvelle, ou pas attendre. I'm like, I did not hear anything. And if it's not from CNN, I feel like it's not truth yet.
No.
I waited, and that news did not come on to CNN until like 7 a.m. And I think that's when I actually was dumbfounded, like, what?
Wow.
It really happened?
Yeah.
What about you? Where were you? Or when did you hear it?
It was 6 a.m. I remember. It was 6 a.m.
Try to even news like 6 a.m.
It was 6 a.m. and for some reason, like I woke up and then the first thing I did was go on Instagram, and I usually like you do prayer or something first. But the first thing I did was go on Instagram that morning. Literally, as soon as I opened it, the first post I see from New York City actually was the assassination. I looked at I said, somebody lying. My drum has to be
Right.
like, why are they lying like that? It's too early in the morning for these shenanigans. I scroll down and it's like, yeah. Then right after I got, the first lady passed away too. I was a man cozy. So then when I woke up, because I heard my dad was already up, and him and my brother were speaking about it, but like I wasn't really paying. They're like, oh, this is what happened. I this that, and that. And I'm like, and I walked towards the door, and my dad was like, "Oh, and I was like, I just see it, so it's true. And he's like, yeah, girl, I don't know why I just got a headache like that instantly. Like it was like a instant headache that came on, because it's like, when you don't expect it, I didn't expect that.
I
Like
think that's what it was. I even feel like whoever is behind this probably didn't even expect that kind of a turnout either. Because clearly it felt like it was a planned assassination. Matter of fact, not even an assassination, a planned execution.
Mm-hmm.
And well, before I continue, I just wanted to be like, okay, rest in peace, and I hope that the wife is doing better. I heard she was transferred to Miami, where she's doing better. She's stable, but she's still in critical condition. And there's a new wave of fear for her life now, because people feel that she may talk and her life is in danger, and they won't let her talk because she can pinpoint who was there, who did what. As a matter of fact, I hear that the prime minister is the one that gouged his eyes out. They really disfigured this guy. He was shot 12 times. 12 times, man. I'm like, is that really necessary? Just get a sniper to just go once, pew, done.
Yeah. Kick his feet, try to see if he's alive, and that's it. But no, they came on a mission. It was like, when I look at this, it's like designing all over again. When they like literally chopped him up, like, because what? For what? What's the reason? You killed him already.
You would think, right? Like, but they did that to another president before too. Charlemagne Peralt. Yeah, I heard actually Americans did that one though. They actually paraded him around. They held him to a door and dragged him all over the place, just like the Dessalines thing. They literally did that all over again, just to be like, we're running the show. And I guess ever since, people have been America's puppets. So, but anyways, I just wanted to say, okay, so Jovenel, he was actually married since 1996. That makes it what? 27 years?
1996, no, that's 24 years, because I'm 23.
Nous pas qu'on mathématiques. 1996 make it 4 years?
20,
No.
24.
Really? Oh, yes, 24. Okay. Dang, I gotta do that math. 1996 make you 24. I would think, yeah, 25, right? No. Anyway, 24, 25. Oh, you're gonna be 25 later, right?
So it's 24. Wait. Oh no, you're right. It's 5. It's 25. I'm thinking like it's a year older than my age. So yes. It's a me.
And then
listen, okay, when you wake up in the morning, you back on mathematics, you back on science, you back on chemistry, you back on nothing. Okay.
I'm telling you, that's why we said, where's the tea? We forgot the tea. This morning, we are all forgiven if we're not in our right mindset, because we are traumatized. We are basically ashamed at how this went about. And I'm hoping that Haitians all over is going to stand up and be like, listen, no, we need our liberty back. We need our freedom back. And we have the right to be treated as humans. And this cannot repeat. It cannot repeat itself again. This is an embarrassment. This is just, wow, that fait nous sembler macaque, Especially that they had to hire mercenaries to do this. Mercenaries is when you hire like a professional soldier to come fight in your army. As a matter of fact, let me give the right definition from Wikipedia, actually. So Wikipedia says a mercenary, sometimes known as a soldier of fortune, is an individual, particularly a soldier, who takes part in military conflict for personal profit, is otherwise an outsider to the conflict, and is not a member of any other official military. So basically, what I was saying, it's just you hired to serve in somebody's army and you get paid. You don't care. You don't take parts. You're like, all right, I can get the job done. Boom.
Right. That's it. It's
So
like,
yeah, so they had to get outside help to get this done. So I'm looking at Haitians like, so you can't even do the business yourself. You have to go get people to help you. And that's what makes it so bad till these days, because of the fact that none of the security guards were killed. Of his security guards.
they tied up the the house help that was there. My thing is everything, like I hear everything, but my thing, I was so grateful. Like I was so grateful because the daughter was able to hide and they didn't get to her.
Smart. Very smart.
But I'm like, the Lord was with that little girl, because can you imagine what could have happened?
Oh, if I assassinated Moon, but I feel like they came for a specific person anyways. Because if that was the case, they would have shot at all the guards. They would have, gotten everything. And I feel like the wife got shot probably by accident. I don't think they were aiming for her, because there's no way they would have missed. I mean, they're trained professionals after all. Mm-hmm. So now they're saying they actually caught some of these guys. They shot 4 of them, arrested 2, and I saw a video with a whole bunch of them.
It was the story. Now my thing with the story is that you're right. Until it get on CNN, like I'm gonna need the full coverage of that story, because they say it was 28 assailants. So they killed 4. They have, when we saw the video, it was 15 that was in the room. Okay. So it's like, okay, all right. So where's the other ones? Where are they? And then what's worse is that there's 2 Haitian Americans in it. And it's like,
I'm like, it's serious when you need that many people to go shoot one person. But supposedly they say these guys were out here for like 6 weeks.
Well, they were plenty, but it's like a bad plan and a good plan at the same time, because they were able to execute what they wanted to do. But how do you not have an escape route kind of thing? Like, you were still,
that's what I would think. Like, I'm thinking, like, I'm not gonna come in a country like this to do a case of this magnitude and not have my exit out. Matter of fact, not only an exit, you're gonna give me a new passport, new identity, new IDs. I'm living in a new country, and you're gonna secure my family. I'm getting my bag in out. Mm-hmm. And out, because I looked at the people when they showed the pictures of the 2 people that they caught. I was like, these guys don't even look like they know how to tie a shoe. And they're the.
And then you look at the video, something feels so off for me. Like, how when sometimes they catch somebody and you just like, yeah, like I could see you doing something like that. I look at them, they just chilling. And it's just like your vibe, which I understand. Like, some mercenaries, they kind of line of work they do. Like, sometimes they will get caught and they already know what the end results are. But you looking at them, like, especially when they was bringing them into the house, there was the last guy in the video. It was the last guy. He's just walking in, just casually strolling, like, and his hand is behind his arm. I mean, his arm is behind his back, and they just casually strolling him, and he has there's no emotions, no nothing on this guy's face, and I'm like,
no concern. Yeah, because I think they're looking at it like, oh, I didn't expect to live this long. I got a couple of extra hours in. So, but if you're gonna do a job like that, you already know the risk, right? You can probably not make it out alive. So with that being said, they wind up being there. They had to make it look like, so what? The job is done. You can't undo it. You can't undo it. You can't bring him back to life. So that's the least they could do. They know the end is. And at the same time, when they were saying, initially when they said to cut the first 4, I did not buy it, because I'm like, where's the bodies? You're not showing me the people you killed. If anything, people should be celebrated that, yes, justice for Jovenel. We found his assailants. We find the assassins. But nobody cared, like, okay, womp. That's not the point. Where was the security guard that should have defended him? Where were the security guards who over here listened to some guy saying that they are DEA? I'm like, DEA. They're not even saying they were CIA or FBI. You're gonna back down for DEA? And what would make you think there would be a drug bust in the president's home in the middle of the night?
In the middle of the night.
And then they were saying, like, they're not your enemies. Men, stand down. And meanwhile, you coming at me like this. If you want me to stand down, you should come to me like that. Like, I'm not your enemy. I'm coming through. But you over here with your guns chilling. I'm like, listen, security men, how? At least one person should have been like questioning things. If the rest were dumbfounded, at least one person should have been like, well, you holding up your gun, I'm gonna hold up my gun too.
Right.
You put yours down, but then that's when I know you're not my enemy.
Right.
But even if that was the case, right? Even if, let's say they did listen and they said, okay, he's not the enemy, let him through. The minute you hear some gunshot, start shooting too. That means something went down.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm on duty. You came and killed somebody on my watch. Oh no, you going down too. I'm serious. Like, how? I don't know. I thought a president's security is supposed to risk their lives for the president. That's how I took it.
Yep. With what is it? Okay, so everything about that whole thing is fishy too. When the people come, like when they all come, okay, at 1 o'clock in the morning. All right. So now, I forgot what I was about to say.
Well, the DEA actually, they said they had nothing to do with it. America already said they had nothing to do with it. Biden didn't even really want to talk about it. He's like, okay, we need more information, but it's definitely not looking good. And Biden is the main one who had supported Jovenel by saying he can stay an extra year because everybody wanted him out, right? And Jovenel was like, well, I did not take office in time. I lost the whole year, so I got to make up for that year. So technically, I'm supposed to be around for 5 years. You're going to let me do my 5 years. So he was very adamant about that. And then the U.S. wind up supporting that. Of course, the U.S. would support that because they don't know who put their puppets in power in the first place anyways. Because Jovenel came in because Martelly passed it down to him. Martelly didn't even finish his complete terms as well. He left a couple of months earlier because, again, this fascist movement, this crazy movement keeps happening, and nobody seems to know how to, I guess, get the U.S. off of our necks. So technically, we still have that boot on our neck because we're not taking charge. Other people keep taking charge for us and putting whoever they want.
Right. I look at us and it's like, okay, the first free republic, but are we really free?
Right. It's like you make 2 steps forward and took like 5 back.
Because are we really free? There was a clip that I was looking at. It was actually from CNN where there was this journalist that was speaking. And actually he got his start in Haiti during the 2010 earthquake. I'm gonna give his name. I just have to find it. Where he talked about, how, which came as a surprise to me. I'm like, I thought I knew Haiti history, but damn. That after we got our independence, we were still paying reparations to the French slave owners for Malon up until 1947. Mind you, we got our independence way earlier than that. And we were still, and I'm like, wait, come again, what? Like that right there, it's just like, okay, so we have that. And then it kind of made me realize too why Haiti just never, recovered from anything. Because as soon as we were done with that, then you have other situations that were happening. Okay, now we're bankrupt because we had to pay all this money back. That's one. And then every time after that, we had to deal with natural disasters. We had to deal with this earthquake. When we finally, because by 2010, You know, our country was actually like doing a little bit better, like a little bit better. But then the earthquake hit.
Yeah. That's why they say, like, a lot of people say Haiti's a cursed country because we keep having hits back to back to back. You have political instability, you have natural tragedies. It's back to back, and then the people are not making enough to live by per day. I think that's why Americans came in trying to kick out what's his name? Aristide, because he was raising up the wage to where the people were making only $1, and he raised it up to like $2 and change, and the other people were against that. So they kidnapped him to get rid of him, and then they came back and said, "Oh, Aristide quit." So, anyways, that's a whole twisted story I got to get to the bottom of. But again, because of the people behind the scenes really pulling the strings, what they say go, and they wanted to go their way because, as you were saying, that we had to pay reparations, and by the time we were done paying the reparations, which I believe was before 1950, 1940 something, and as soon as we were done with that, boom, Americans still came back and took over. So, matter of fact, we were operating on a constitution that's not even ours, right? Mm-hmm. Franklin D. Roosevelt wrote a new constitution for Haiti, and in that constitution, they okayed foreigners to come buy land in Haiti. So we're just like a stepchild in our own home, if that makes sense. Yeah. And you know, if you keep having debt upon debt upon debt, you're never gonna have that dream vacation. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just so busy. Boom, next. Boom, next.
I gotta is
the guy you said was in Haiti since 2012. Is it that black version lookalike of Anderson Cooper? Is it that guy? I think I know who you were talking about, right? When you said he's
black version.
Like, he kind of looked like Anderson Cooper. He's well, or maybe they have the same. His parents are Haitians. I know who you're talking about. He works for CBS. He worked. Vladimir. Is that? I don't know too many Haitian journalists. There was that last lady, she died. And he's a guy, and he made it through mainstream media. It has to be Vladimir. Light-skinned dude? That's what I'm thinking of. Vladimir.
And black, he's bald headed. I literally, I had all the videos saved, like, you know, like for reference, but for some reason
you gotta look him up. Put Haitian journalist CBS. I think if I'm thinking of who you're saying, it has to be Vladimir. But anyways, so Moise has 3 kids that he left behind, sadly. Mm-hmm. Sadly, and his wife is currently fighting for her life. And I'm getting.
Listen. Here. Yeah, is it? I think it's this one. Nope, not him.
It's not Vladimir? Vladimir Dutierrez?
He's much younger.
Who you looked up? Because it has to be Vladimir. What other Haitian journalist is called Vladimir?
Hold on.
She's gonna put me on hold just to look this guy up. But anyways, yes, he did. His parents are Haitian. I don't know if that means he was born in Haiti, but
that doesn't mean nothing. He's still Haitian American. I don't get
No, he's Haitian American. I was just saying, like, I don't know too much about him, so I'm like, I don't know if he was born in Haiti, but anyway, so I was thinking, like, for us who's outside, what is expected of us to do? Like, what can we do now that we see something like this? I would hope this would make us be stronger than ever and put us in a tighter bond to be like, okay, now we can clearly see there's some shenanigans going on. And this should be an opportunity for us to come together, like not just show off our flags and things like that, but actually do something about it, actually stand up. I did see in a video where they were destroying some of the businesses of the people with money in Haiti because they saying they don't running the show. They the 1%, you know, the other Arab descent who is in Haiti, who holds pretty much all the power there. And there's some allegations that Moise was trying to bring a lot of stuff to light and they did not want to be exposed. So they took this drastic measure to not only shut him up, but to still maintain power. And that guy, that the prime minister who's taking over, he's like such a suspect. He shouldn't be called prime minister. He should be called prime suspect. Only because only because they said that Jovenel had just announced a new prime minister who was to take over that Wednesday. Mm-hmm. And then he wound up dying that early morning of Wednesday. So that new guy never got appointed. He never got sworn in. So the old guy, Joseph, he was actually fired. He was fired, but now he's taking charge. He's taking over and have announced himself as the president, the interim president, I guess, until elections are held later on in September. So it's a whole mess. It's like, I smell a rat.
Listen, that's not a rat. That's way worse than a rat.
I smell a rat. But he also said that he opened up the country now. He opened up the country saying that businesses should resume. The airport is not open. I'm like, who traveling?
For what?
Not me. They also claim martial law for the country too. He said it was in a state of siege. So I don't know how long that's supposed to last, maybe 15 days. I heard declaration of mourning too, like they were gonna do that until July 22nd for him. I'm like, oh, well, that's nice. That's nice. You can't bring him back, but at least
you can bring him back. There's nothing that you guys can do that can bring this man back. And the fact that, you know, like, my thing is they never killed the bad guys. So if you kill him, there's a reason.
There's a reason. There's a reason. Whether it's power, money, greed, it's not gonna be none to us little people. We're the little people. They're gonna feed us what they want to feed us as usual. The media is gonna do its thing, and we have more questions than answers at this time. Even though your point they caught like a couple of them, I don't feel satisfied. I don't feel like that gratified me in any ways. It's like that should have never happened. Okay, but it did. And the guards, why we're not questioning them, so we just have a little video that says that was it, and then that's it. The end of story. They get off. Like, how do you get off easy?
That's what I wanted to. That's actually what I was gonna say. You know, in even other countries, like if, for example, let's say if people are coming to see the president and the president didn't know about it, you know what they do? You shoot. You shoot and ask questions.
You can't come 50 feet.
You cannot.
And that's the other thing too.
That's how it's supposed to be, but you guys literally handed them over on a silver platter. Like, yeah, go ahead. Like, have fun. And right. That's why the president. And that's
the other thing. Like, whatever happened to let me see your ID? Like, verify yourself. You're gonna tell me because you dress like this and you tell me you're DEA and that's good enough? If that's the case, I gotta go get me a suit. I gotta go get me a commando suit and be like, I'm DEA, let me through. That's it. Like, you don't question who sent you. You don't question what is your business here. What makes you think we have? What's your ID? I just need ID.
Yeah, but then y'all want to have a full shootout in the wee hours of the afternoon. Okay, where was this shootout at in the morning when the president was getting killed?
Even the timeline is not making sense because some of the people there, some of the neighbors were saying that they heard shooting since like 11 o'clock the night before. That's what they were saying since like 11 o'clock the night before they heard shooting. And then who lives close by him? I think the prime minister lives nearby. Well, I guess he did come to the scene because they claim he's the one that popped out his eyes. But
what you mean that? Wait, how he popped out his eyes? I'm going. Why would he do that?
who? What? To pull
The
out his eyes? Ou konen Haitien cause voodoo? S'il pa ka wè, le leve comme moi, he'll be blind. He can identify. I don't know what was the reason behind that. I don't know. That to me, that's just barbaric. That's just too much.
Yeah, when they describe, like the shots that they in, like, I'm a vivid thinker, so it's like I literally imagine the things, like how it happened, like especially when you see movies where things happen and you put everything, all the scenes together, and it's just like, oh, like,
well,
this
I
don't
think
look.
they're saying that even Jovenel knew his days were limited because he actually hired extra security. So I'm like, how you get extra security and none of them came to your defense? That's really bad. Like even though Jesus had Judas in his crowd, he still kind of had a Peter. You know what I'm saying? How you don't even have a Peter? My ears are.
So, okay, so now let me see. I till this day, like till right now, I'm literally telling you, like, I just really feel like I'm over this situation. Like, it's just making me like I don't even know what to say or what to think of anymore. I really don't. It's just like, yo, like,
There is
why?
nothing to say. That's why I was asking you, like, what do you think we should do, us in the diaspora? Like, what's the next step? What can we do to change anything? I mean, we could sit and pray, that's all we got. But then how do you become a mass? How do you become resourceful? How do you become, the initial first Black Republic that we were? It was the American ambassador. It's the American ambassador that lives close by him. And I'm sitting here like, I'm still baffled over the fact that how is it that none of the guards
Got shot.
got hit?
Oh
At least
no.
play it off. At least be like somebody got shot in the arm, something.
Yes, like, they went in trying to save the president and everything like that. Uh, but
I don't know.
nothing.
The Secret
No,
Service failed. Like, you don't come to the rescue of your president. You don't come to the rescue of the wife. Even if you hated the president, at least support the wife. And I'm like, kote banyo te, kote banyo, kote seven, kote jere la kou, kote gardien yo,
they,
like
no, they tied him up in the story. They tied him up and put them somewhere, and they tied him up in the house. But the thing is, they didn't get shot. Nobody got shot. But so I think they really just came specifically for the president, so they didn't shoot anybody else on the outside or whatever. Maybe my thing is, okay, maybe they didn't want to alarm anybody, but then the guard should have just been like, you know what? Like, okay, y'all shot the president, y'all not making this out alive. So at least kill at least a couple of them before they leave out the place.
yeah, at least. But if they have a higher boss, because some people are saying Dimitri Boulos, is those guys who's really responsible for calling out the shot. You have like T. Claude, Gary, Leon Charles, those kind of those are the shot callers.
The shot callers,
Yeah,
yeah.
the shot callers. I think I posted the list of all the people who run Haiti on our website before. So it's like
Yep.
crazy how there's really that 1% that
The 11
can.
families, that's what we call them, the 11 families.
That's basically it. That's basically it. So if there's nothing we can do, we're pretty much doomed. And that means, what does the future for Haiti politically looks like?
Honestly, unless it's someone that, you know, is not easily corrupted but comes with a lot of weight behind him, like, and I'm talking about a lot of support he's like basically untouchable, but his mentality is for the people versus for the elites. Then that, I think that's the only way for because what else, if those people control the country and every time they appoint somebody or someone gets on, they expect you to walk this line with them, okay? And if you don't walk the line, you either get exiled or you get murdered.
there's no other way or whatsoever the case may be. So you have to either accept it or you don't. And when you don't accept it, guess what happens? Things like this. So
exactly. Well, we were an empire before the US. Okay, we were first freed, and then we actually went out to help them. And then in 1915, they decided to come back in because we were like the major slave trade. We were like the major trade sector of that time. So they decided to come in to get some of Haiti's gold, and you're tumet la patsunu. So if we hear anything that Haiti's doing and the US is backing them up, now you automatically know that that person's a puppet. Okay, if you're getting any support from the US like that politically, that means whoever is in that power is being controlled by the US. It's nothing but a cover up because they need their puppets there so they could do what they need to do.
They need to do. That's right. Yeah.
So this conversation looks like we're gonna have to have a to be continued, a follow up. News are still developing.
Absolutely, because I'm sure in a couple of days, or by the end of this week, that we should have at least more concrete information. But I'll be honest with you, I look at these guys that they caught. Till this day, I still feel like it's a cover up. I don't trust it. Like, I really don't. Like, I feel like this is the people that they hired to take the fall, and that's that. Like, I don't trust it.
You remember Ben Laden, the whole story of 9/11? They hired the people they know they were hired to just go kill themselves. So they already knew they were being a puppet, and they're okay to sacrifice themselves, commit that kind of a suicide just to get the job done. Yeah, so these mercenaries would be no different than the Bin Laden's men.
Yeah, no different. And it's like, and then we have, okay, then they fit in this test in the media, and then it's like you don't know what to believe. And then while everybody is just laughing and eating steak and lobster at home, like I don't know. Like when I heard the news, like I know, like sometimes it's like, I'm a proud Haitian. I love being Haitian. I love my culture. I love my country. But that right there,
it's too much.
It's too much.
And if Poulos or Dimitri Erad have anything to do with this, please come out so we can continue on with our lives. Just take the fall. Just take the blame. Because at the end of the day, we already know where the fingers are being pointed.
They're not gonna do that. They're really not. They're not gonna do that because for what? They're enjoying the fact that they're able to play us. Like the little voodoo dolls, they're able to do that to the country, like manipulate it into whatever they want.
We're puppets. And I think it's time us Haitians stand up to be like, we will be a puppet no more, because they know when it comes to being revolutionary, we got this. But they already figured if they could keep us down, then we'll never achieve that goal. So we need a chance to come back to make Haiti what it was destined to be, the greatness that the people can do, how they can manifest. Because you cannot tell me a country like this is not great if every tragedy, every fall, they rise right back up like nothing happened. Like, how are you dispopulated? Did you not just have like a couple of 100,000 die? But everybody's right back to thriving. It's like, right. Man, we just won't let up. Like at this point, give up on us and let us live, because we're not gonna go anywhere.
We're not. No, we have that resilient mentality, but then also the resilient mentality also the elite has. So we're resilient in terms of getting back up, but they're also resilient trying to keep us down.
Exactly. So but we're not gonna be able to do it if we're doing it alone. So we need the rest of the world to stand up with us. We need the rest of the diaspora to come and be that voice. You know how we made a difference for George Floyd because everybody jumped in on that Black Lives Matter? Well, Haitian lives matter, and we were number one. You can't let us drop back down that low. We need to come back as that first free Black republic. And some people, they may feel very ashamed and very embarrassed to be a Haitian person right now because of that scenario alone. But you still have the other Petit Desalegn who's ready to be like, liberté ou la mort, like, we're going in, we're fighting, we're just taking our stride, we're taking our country back. At the end of the day, nobody's gonna stop me from being able to go to Haiti. Get over this little thing, because we're coming back full throttle. Okay? Okay? Like, you can't be Haitian and not believe. You can't be this strong person and think you're worthless. You can't be this smart and think, oh my gosh, I'm being bamboozled. I shouldn't be getting bamboozled continuously. You gotta at least at some point wake up. We're about to wake the mess up, and I hope the masses, I hope they really come to their senses and be like, nah, let go of that stronghold, let it go, break them chains, you know? And the only way to do that, we can only come together, because if we let the US continue to run the show, this will continue to be happening. As soon as they want to get rid of you, execution style, they don't care.
You didn't see my. I said when it was like, oh, when some Haitian American, oh, wasn't none of Haitians, they'll be like, maybe the U.S. should come in and help. I was like,
they got smart this time because they did not want to be mentioned. They'd be like, get somebody else from the other side and we'll jump in after the fact. So they're not dumb. But anyways, we're just going to have to do that part 2 for you guys. So let's get more information on this breaking news, because Haiti always makes it on the map at everybody's news station, but always on the negative standpoint. And this is why we wanted to come in to be the one to do the positive light, you know, because I'm tired of seeing the negative images, nothing but tragedy, always being referred to as the third poorest, the poorest now in the Western Hemisphere. Like we always got that degrading introduction. Like, why? Yeah. Why can't we be like La Pelle des Antilles, the first free Black republic, and some unfortunate turn of events happen when you specifically know why? Especially with us having to repay, like we had to pay for our freedom. We fought for our freedom. Then we had to pay.
That they've been paying for this damn freedom.
And that's it. But that happens because, again, of who's in power. If somebody else was, you know, like, nah, you come in, we'll fight you again. How about that? You can't threaten me. You want to come, we're going to cut your throat like we did last time. How about that? But anyways, at least we get to say we're the first and only free country. We don't owe nobody nothing. So technically we got the best credit because we're not borrowers. So if you want to look at it that way. But anyways, let's not go over there. We're just going to have to do that part 2, Chica. We got to continue this conversation.
Yeah, we sure do. But again, I do pray for, you know, a speedy recovery for our First Lady. Yes. Rest in peace to, you know, our president and, you know, to his children. I just really hope they find the strength through this time. And, you know, there's in that little girl, like, there's nothing, because I'm sure she's seen it after, because she probably runs to her parents' room, you know, like, and, you know, I'm sure that's something she'll be able to forget in her life. So
they got into psychology.
They do
a lot of psychiatry.
Yeah,
and it was just his birthday too. This guy just turned 53, June 26th, and this is like not even a month later, and you pass. He actually passed on the same day as my mother's birthday.
I know. Oh my goodness!
I won't forget 7/7 now. And he became president on February 7th. So there's a 7/7 theme going. 7 times 3 is 21. This is the year 21. Anyways, I know, right? I'll be like so extra. So, all right, guys. Well, what?
You try to put everything together. It's like, okay, 7 times 7 is oh my God.
But anyway, we're not going to make this too long. We're just going to thank everybody for tuning in. And once again, definitely drop your comments, because we would like to know, what do you guys think we should be doing at this time as a nation, as a people, as Haitian descent, as the diaspora, even as the people living inland? Like, what do you think we need to do to come together to bring a resolution about this? And who do you think is going to replace Moise? Who do you think is going to be our next president? Elections on the 26th. The referendum was supposed to take place in December, and in September too. So drop your thoughts and your comments, and we thank you. Next time we'll definitely have tea. So
ginger tea.
Well, Lady D, it's always a pleasure talking to our folks, right? So
absolutely. Can't wait to tune into the second episode of this situation.
Yes, the assassination of our beloved president Jovenel Moise, and like you said, may his soul rest in peace.
Amen.
Let's continue to keep the family in our prayers, and we'll come back with the next updates that we get, hopefully soon, and we'll take it from there with our conversation.
Okay. Well, bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you, guys.